Imagine sitting down for dinner knowing that a single bite could get you smited by God, melt your insides, paralyze your lungs, choke you to death, or unleash a drunken surprise snake attack. Welcome to the world's most dangerous menu. The first meal on our menu is Ortolan Bunting. Ah, France, land of warm baguettes, passionate romance, and eating adorable tiny songbirds. This is the Ortolan Bunting, a small, innocent European songbird. Oh hey little guy, you want a crumb? Maybe a baguette? Ah, chin up king, you'll find your elegant songbird girlfriend soon. Just believe in yourself. I may have left out a detail. Some people here eat this bird whole. Let's rewind. This bizarre tradition didn't just appear out of nowhere. It actually starts way back in ancient Rome, where the wealthy discovered that this tiny bird was shockingly delicious. Fast forward a few centuries, and France resurrects the ritual, but with a flair. I would explain it, but it's better if you just do it yourself. So here's how to make your own Ortolan Bunting at home, the French way. First, go out to your nearest park and wait till you find an Ortolan Bunting. Then take your cage and capture it. After that, go home and place your caged ortolan into a dark place. No, not there! Place the bird in a dark closet with all the bird food that you can get your grubby little hands on, and just wait a few days. Within those days, your ortolan bird, who we're going to name Jerry, will then overeat due to a lack of sunlight and stress of the environment. Once Jerry has reached his evolution form, put him in a bottle of brandy. Not just any brandy, but a 1946 Gascony Armagnac bottle. And I guess just let Jerry swim around in the bottle till he has an absolute bender from the amount of alcohol in there, until he drowns in glory. You have 2 seconds of silence to say R.I.P. Jerry. After that, you'll have a delicious Jerry. Okay, I'm going back to saying bird. You'll have a delicious bird infused with the Armagnac flavor, ready to be roasted. No seasoning, no fancy drizzle, no little parsley leaf on the plate to distract you from this monstrosity, just the bird, which has been described as tasting very intense, with a concentrated poultry flavor, very fatty, a hint of sweetness, nuttiness, and a very umami, meaty flavor. With one chef describing it as a hot rush of fat, guts, bones, blood, and meat. I've slightly less guilt eating McDonald's now. But here's where it gets really weird. When you eat this bird, you have to hide your face from God. French politicians, lawyers, and any other all-powerful person there would have a towel over their head. The use of the towel became trending after a priest started doing it who was friends with Jean Ethlehem Brilliant Severin. Tradition dictates that the towel is used to shield yourself from God's eyes, an attempt to avoid the shame of such a decadent and disgraceful act. There are other supposed reasons as to why they would cover their faces with a towel, like savoring the flavor of the bird, or as a way to have manners when spitting out the bones. But more notably, the French elites were scared of God striking them down with lightning. Thankfully, it is now illegal to eat these cute tiny birds, but unfortunately 30,000 ortolans are illegally captured every year and sold on black markets, or served by some chefs in secret to customers who know how to ask for them. However, if you want to get your hands on your own Ortolan Bunting, head over to birdandonebite.com and use code CRIMINALCAT for 20% off your first purchase. Note that I will not be responsible if God strikes you down with lightning. Next up on the menu, Casu Martzu. Have you ever had cheese so good it moves you?
No.
This is Casu Martzu, a lovely traditional Sardinian sheep cheese with one minor ingredient that might be a deal breaker for some of you. Live maggots. Happy, flourishing, and dare I say culinary icons. Well, at least to the people who live in Sardinia. It's unsure how this cheese came into existence, but it's speculated that some Italian sheep farmer was going about his day, made a fresh wheel of pecorino, and decided to leave it out. A cheese fly saw this seducing wheel of dairy perfection and proceeded to hurl itself into it, leaving the world behind and ascending to what will soon be Casu Martzu heaven. He would then begin laying his eggs in every tight corner and crevice he could find, or she, I'm unsure of how the gender system works for Piophila caseyflies. These eggs then hatch into larvae, a more appropriate word for disgusting blood-curdling maggot. For the sake of you and I'll be calling these despicable creatures Larrys. These Larrys, which is in the thousands by the way, begin to eat the cheese and shit it all back out to make Casu Martzu, which is described as soft and creamy with a great texture. They also forgot to describe that this is literally the worst thing on the planet. So, what's it like actually eating it, and what happens to you when you eat it? First, don't eat this, please. But if you're going to, make sure to approach the cheese wheel very slowly, because these Larrys can jump, which is an understatement because I watched a YouTube video of one of these things barreling itself into the air like a bullet. You know, you actually are advised to wear protective eye gear when eating this cheese. If it wasn't horrific enough as is, these parasites want to possess your soul by jumping through your eyeballs. Anyways, you got your favorite goggles on, now what? Step 1, take a breath. Not because it helps, but because it might be a loss. Step 2, spread the cheese on a slice of bread.
Oh dear God, it's moving.
Try to avoid looking at it, or maybe don't. Stare at it long enough to realize how much of an awful and stupid decision this was. Not as stupid as you not subscribing though. Step 3, eat it.
You don't got like any additional steps that I have to go through first?
Nope. It's kinda simple.
Dude, it's dancing. Hey man, I ain't get paid enough to do your YouTube video, god damn it.
Are you really going to deny Larry? He worked so hard on this cheese wheel for you.
Look man, I can't do it. I'm sorry. You're not gonna peer pressure me and gaslight me with your silly mind games.
The trick is to not think, just do. In life we hesitate too much, and I just think you gotta go for things, you know? Now what you may taste is described according to some people as incredibly rich, creamy, super salty, and slightly spicy. However, what may come shortly after that is nausea, vomiting, and bloody diarrhea, because these Larrys can survive in your stomachs and potentially live in your intestines. It's truly a horror bestowed on humanity so heavily that I honestly don't know what more to say. Or it could be the epitome of culinary bravery and a poetic tale of Larry and his Pecorino kingdom. For our third dish, less gross than Casu Martzu, but 100 times deadlier, Fugu. We are in Yamaguchi Shimonoseki, a city located at the westernmost tip of Japan's main island, Honshu. So what makes this place so special? Well, first, the water. And second, the city is home to this pufferfish, which is called Fugu in Japanese. Instinctively, you may want to pet this super deadly and poisonous fish. Well, you can. This pufferfish is actually safe to touch if you aren't afraid of it inflating like a giant balloon. But we aren't here to pet our adorable Fugu, we're here to eat him. So how do we eat our little friend? Well, first, you have to find a qualified chef that has an official Fugu handling license, which can only be earned after 3 years of training and government exams. I found Sensei Yang digging through my garbage bin. If I put a chef's hat on him, he looks like he fits the part. Anyways, our beloved Sensei Yang will delicately cut the fish, removing all the poisonous parts of the Fugu, like its liver, ovaries, and intestines. After that, you now have a decision on how you'd like to eat it. Fugu sashimi, which is razor-thin, almost transparent slices arranged like a flower on the plate. Fugu nabe, chunks of fugu simmered with vegetables. Fugu karage, deep-fried pieces, the safest and most flavorful way to eat it. And lastly, Fugu hayazake, a cup of hot sake with a grilled Fugu fin inside. Sensei Yang, how should our friend eat this fish? Fugu sashimi o sukuri! Fugu sashimi it is. You know, this is actually the most common way of eating it, but also the most dangerous, if not prepared right. Oh wow, okay, I didn't expect you to just go in like that.
Just like sushi.
Well, I'm going to go talk to the audience for a while you eat that up. You're enjoying the video? Comment down below which of these crazy foods you would try. And keep watching because the rest of the foods only get crazier.
What the fuck?
What he's experiencing now is what we call flirting with the void. a sense of numbness that flows through the body. You see, this Fugu clearly wasn't served right, meaning that the poison, or more specifically, tetrodotoxin, entered into his system, which is 1,200 times more deadlier than cyanide. The good news is that he isn't feeling any pain. Well, he isn't feeling anything at all. This neurotoxin just quietly turns off your nervous system until paralysis hits your diaphragm, meaning you stop breathing. Death usually comes from asphyxiation within 4 to 6 hours, or 4 to 6 seconds. Can you move his body, please? It's kinda disturbing. I guess today we learned that pufferfish should probably be left alone, and maybe we shouldn't be so eager to eat every random creature we yank out of the ocean. But apparently we didn't learn a damn thing, because this one doesn't just sit on your plate in tiny little sashimi slices, it fights back while you eat it. And for our fourth meal on the menu, sannakji. South Korea. A country alive with amazing people, cultural architecture, and that octopus on a plate which is squirming profusely. Sannakji literally translates to live octopus, and yes, that's exactly what it is. Tiny baby octopuses called nakji are chopped into pieces while still alive and immediately served, still twitching, still wiggling, and very much clinging to life. I mean, look at these little cuties. Why would you ever want to eat these little guys? I don't think you eat these ones specifically, I'm sort of just showing this for dramatic effect. Anyways, this dish originated in Korea's coastal fishing towns, where fishermen would snack on freshly caught octopus right off the boat. No seasoning, no frying, just chop it up, drizzle some sesame oil, and hope it doesn't choke you to death. Over time, it became a Korean delicacy, often eaten as a show of bravery or masculinity, which I didn't even know about until now. I personally don't see this as masculinity unless you eat one of these guys, but you're not going to do that because you're a little bit. Now, the reason it moves isn't because the octopus is alive, well, technically not for long, but it's because the nerve endings in the tentacles are still firing. So even after it's been cut up, the suction cups still grip onto whatever they touch. However, upon further research, I have seen many people just eat this octopus straight up whole with its head and everything attached. I don't really know how to feel about that, to be honest. Each year, there are a few people who die from eating sannakji, and every cause of death is choking. Unlike Fugu being poisoning, sannakji isn't. I would say this is worse than Fugu though. I mean, with Fugu you're numb so you can't feel anything. With sannakji you're going to feel every sticky, grippy tentacle wrap itself to the inside of your throat while you just painfully choke to death. Sanakji Tyson awaits any brave octopus murderers to step into his quarters and eat him up. We're heading into the last item on our menu, but before we get into that, I want to quickly go through some honorable foods that I wanted to add into the video. First, vizich. Egypt's famously fermented salted fish. It's a grey mullet that's cured for weeks until it's super pungent. Eaten during the spring festival Sham el Nisim, fans call it delicious tradition, critics call it death on a plate. If prepared wrong, it can give you botulism, which is a type of poisoning, and recently the Egyptian Prime Minister of Health has warned against the locals eating this every year, but they just love it so much. Balut. Seems like a normal egg, right? Well, let's crack it open and have a look at it. Yep, a barely born duck waiting to be consumed alive. Here. Bat roast. Straight from Ghana, yes, people actually eat bats. Roasted, grilled, or stewed. They're considered a delicacy in some regions, packed with protein and sometimes even believed to have medicinal properties.
Do I eat the wings first?
Yeah, just grab a chunk, chew carefully, and pray that nothing happens to you. Scorpions. I like many things on a skewer, like marshmallows, corn, chicken, and definitely not scorpions. In my old house, we actually had a few occasions of scorpions entering the house. They're actually quite loud, surprisingly. I am terrified of them, but the people of Beijing and Bangkok are not. They actually love to eat scorpions, being one of the most common street foods in these cities and described as tasting crunchy with a nutty type of flavor. And for our final item on the menu, snake wine. I added this because I just thought it looks so cool. I mean, this just looks metal as fuck. Okay, enough goofing around now. Where on earth did this come from, and is it safe to drink? Snake wine made its debut appearance to humanity during the Western Zhou dynasty all the way back in 771 BC. Back then, the people believed the venom inside held mystical healing powers. The idea was simple: if a snake could kill you, maybe a little bit of its poison could make you stronger. A little bit of poisoning won't make you sick and throw up violently, no. It'll make you levitate and ascend over your opposition. In light of this belief, they started dropping live cobras into bottles of rice wine and calling it snake wine. And to answer you on whether or not it's safe to drink, yes, it is safe to drink. That's if the snake doesn't jump out of the bottle and bite you in the face. It is sold in markets in places like China, Korea, and more commonly Vietnam. It's still believed in some cultures to be medicinal and help boost vitality. Who knows, maybe it does. Maybe every person who drinks this do in fact gain super secret powers. Well, anyway, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.